Ladies and gentlemen, it's another day, another dollar, or I should say another day, another video. And we have our favorite person in the world, ironically, of course. We have Mr. Darrell Brooks in court. Now, this is a segment of this is a solid segment that we have not seen before on this channel. This is when Brooks actually has representation and Brooks actually has a public defender and all the good things that come with having a public defender called, logic and help. And Brooks at this point pretty much goes on record saying he doesn't want the help. He doesn't want the logic. He wants pure idiocy and a circus to take place in court. That's pretty much what he's saying. He's telling the world this. He doesn't want peace. He only wants problems. You know what I mean? Like the meme says, no peace, only problems. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we're going to boot this thing up from the very start. Brooks has representation, and then he says he don't want it no more. Let's go ahead. Everybody get the things you guys need. Get the juice, get the snacks, get the gancha, get all the things y'all feel like y'all need, man. Let's go ahead and see what's going on in here. It is a long video, a very long video. So we're going to break it up into like 2 or 3 parts, depending on how long this circus show takes. And, sit back and enjoy, my people. Let's get this.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated.
I have to shout out the prosecution team seems very unhaggard and very rested, unlike for the rest of this trial. They look very unrested and completely out of sorts because when I tell you Brooks put them through a bunch of nonsense. But let's continue.
Court will call State of Wisconsin versus Darrell Brooks, case number 21 CF 1848. May I have the appearances, please?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sue Opper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Witchell appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
Darrell Brooks appears in person with his attorneys, Anna Keys and Jeremy Perry. Good afternoon.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Object to that.
I'm sorry?
I'm here representing myself pro per.
All right, thank you, sir. Then we are...
And the first objection of a long list of objections. I object to that. What? Why? Why, sir? I want to represent myself like a fucking moron. Let's get it, baby.
Here so that I can once again address the motion to withdraw that was filed by the defense attorneys in this case late last week. I did receive this morning a filing from the defense. It includes the waiver of right to attorney form that appears to have been signed by Mr. Brooks. I want to start with the defense team, because it's still a team right now, Attorney Perry, and I want to get some information from you for the record. So if you could please tell me how many times that you have met with Mr. Brooks since you've been appointed. I'm looking for you to quantify that for me if you can.
I need a moment.
Sure.
Your Honor, may I ask a question while they're reviewing that? Is the live stream on?
It is.
Okay. The monitors aren't on?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Thank you.
I can confirm with them.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want the monitors on so you can
It's
see?
possible. Yeah, it's a little easier for us to view Mr. Brooks then.
Thank you, Your Honor. We can say we've met with him at least 25 times.
Thank you.
Damn, they met with him 25 times. 25. I thought it was going to be like 7 or 6 times or like 10 times. They met with him 25 times. This is another stalling tactic for Brooks, I promise you. He's going to stay with them. He probably stayed with them, got a whole plan in order. Like, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do here. This is what we're going to do there. Then when they're about to go to trial, he's like, nah, I want to represent myself. I can do this myself. I don't feel like they're fully representing me to the best of their ability. Blah, 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 blah. And then obviously that's going to take more time. This whole trial right here is a desperate attempt to buy time. That's what this trial really is. It's a desperate attempt to buy time by Darrell Brooks with the prosecution barreling down his ass. That's what this is.
In your meetings with him, have you reviewed the charges that he faces and the penalties and exposure?
Yes.
Have you discussed with him the nature of the charges?
Yes.
Have you provided Mr. Brooks with any of the pleadings that have been filed in this case?
Yes.
Anything that you have not provided him, perhaps by maybe not the jury questionnaire?
Oh, and before we continue, my people, I almost forgot. Everybody go subscribe to my Patreon if you guys want the early access videos, if you guys want the videos that are not always allowed on YouTube. It's a great place to support me, and if you want to see some extra content that you may not be able to see on this channel, you know, whatever may arise, whatever YouTube tries to block out, you know what I mean? That's going to be over on Patreon, as well as live stream highlights and a couple other cool things. So make sure you guys, if you want to support the channel, go to Patreon, sign up, become a patron, and also go check out my Instagram at HETactical25. It's a great place to be. I can't even tell you how many DMs I've gotten that pretty much help videos come out on the YouTube channel. So if you want to be kind of like a part of the YouTube vibe, a part of the new topics that we cover, because believe it or not, we don't only cover Darrell Brooks, we cover other things. You can be part of that. You can be in the Instagram, that's completely free. Patreon, obviously, is like $5, so that's if you guys want to. But yeah, you know, give input. I always like to see DMs. I always like the new ideas. If we don't do it on a video, it might go on a live. So, you know, stay in tune. Keep those things in mind. And let's get back to this thing.
For example, but would he have gotten all of the other pleadings in this case? Anything that's not confidential?
Everything has been communicated with him. Not everything has been printed in.
Thank you. What about discovery in this case? I'm told, I haven't obviously not seen it all myself, but I'm told it's quite voluminous and that it includes not only paper discovery, meaning printouts of police reports or photographs, but there's a large amount of electronic discovery. Is that all true?
Yeah, that's all true.
Has he been provided with copies of
These lawyers, I'm just going to say, they look pissed off. Like, they don't want to be here. They don't like it here. They don't like Brooks. They don't like the judge. They don't like nobody. I just want to know what he did to them, because bro in the gray suit is done with it. Gray hair, gray suit, he is done with it. He wants to go home and watch the game right about now. He's over it.
paper discovery?
Yes.
How have you reviewed with him the electronic discovery?
At a meeting at the jail on our computer in terms of reviewing videos. Not all electronic discovery has been reviewed. There are lots of audio files, but I should say reviewed with Mr. Brooks at the jail.
Thank you. Have you communicated with Mr. Brooks during the course of your representation in writing, either you to him or him to you? I'm not looking for you to divulge any, privileged information, just generally, how have you communicated with him?
There have been some times in writing.
Has he written to you at all?
Yes.
Have you had any concerns with his ability to communicate with you either orally or in writing at any point in time during your representation?
I want to answer the court directly, but I'd like to answer this way, is that, and maybe this is not what you're asking, but we are very aware of our obligations in terms of raising any concerns, if there were, about competency or the ability to communicate. And
I'm not looking for that. No, I'm looking
that.
more for your assessment of his literacy and his ability just generally to communicate with you.
Man, why is he talking so low? It's kind of pissing me off. The audio isn't even terrible. I'm gonna have to up all the audio, do all this extra shit because he was having a bad day. Like, bro, do your job so I can do my job. You know what I mean? Like, do your job so I could do my job, bro. You're talking like you're like the principal is mad at you, just very low, talking at a very mild manner. Like, bro, speak up, bro. Say it with your chest a little bit. Like, damn. But anyways, she's just trying to understand if the guy isn't stupid, which we soon find out that he is a moron. But she wants to know if he can read, write, communicate, stuff like that nature. Lawyer don't even, like, man, I'm starting to understand why he wanted to represent himself if this lawyer was behaving like this the entire time. Now, I'm pretty sure something happened in between where they don't get along now, so sitting next to him is just like, But still, bro, you gotta be professional.
In the English language.
Yeah, we've not had any problem communicating with Mr. Brooks.
Thank you. It's my understanding that he provided to you or to Attorney Keyes the waiver of right to attorney form that was he filed with the court this morning. Is that true?
That was delivered to us via by jail staff this morning.
Thank you. I know that you also filed a case and really a summary of that case with the court. Is there anything you want to put on the record at this hearing regarding that filing?
Only that I think from some of the comments of Mr. Brooks, and I say this with the understanding that, you know, we view him, of course, our motion to withdraw has not been granted. We are still representing him. And it is our clear understanding that it is Mr. Brooks's desire and objective to represent himself in this matter. There were some things at yesterday's hearing that I think maybe seemed inconsistent with that in terms of colloquy with him, and some things that perhaps appeared inconsistent on his written waiver of attorney form. We provided that case law in that context of United States v. Banks with the exchange that has some real similarities to the exchange that happened in court yesterday, where, and this is, you know, if there's a distinction being made in the sense of what part of the Sixth Amendment does Mr. Brooks wish to waive in terms of how he sees himself as appearing in this case as a special appearance.
Yeah, here comes the sovereign citizen bullshit. So this is what happened, right? So he was saying, yeah, so Brooks does not wish, it is his sole objective to represent himself. Okay, cool. And then he goes on to say something about how Brooks wants to be perceived in this trial, and they just, like, I'm assuming they just can't go with that because it's a bunch of nonsense. He probably hit them in the strategy room like, look, guys, this is what we finna do. I read this thing about some sovereign citizenship, and I heard that if you go the right way, if you swing it the right way, you understand me? We could get this whole trial turned into a mistrial. Okay? Now the sovereign citizen, this is how it goes, right? And then they were like, okay, sir, that's bullshit. Those are a bunch of morons that like live in mountains and have fake license plates made out of paper, construction paper. We don't do that. We don't do that, sir. We try to get you off using the law. You know what I'm saying? He fired them. So, man, I'm telling you, that's how it went. This was on his mind from the very start. I accept for value and I accept for return. Like, come on, bro, shut the fuck up. You're still, like, what does that mean? Explain to me what that means, sir. Because I'm curious what I accept for value and I accept for, I don't even know what the fuck he says. I'm curious to understand what that means, sir. Please break this down to me. Anyway.
Per, as he has said, that the context of that with his really quite clear statements throughout yesterday's hearing of where I think he said multiple times that his wish is to represent himself in this matter. We provided that to try and place some of the sovereign citizen language in context where it is maybe not as inconsistent as it may first seem. To support what Mr. Brooks is saying he wants, and that is to represent himself in this matter.
What I hear you saying is that certainly prior to yesterday's hearing, Mr. Brooks made it very clear to you he wants to represent himself.
That's right. That's why we filed the motion to withdraw.
Has he done or said anything to you that would cause you to change your assessment of his desire?
No.
Bro said, I'm going by myself. I ain't messing with y'all. I'm doing this by myself, me, in the rain, by myself, building it from scratch, putting in the hard work, the dedication, the drive. You know what I mean? I'm going to free myself. I am him. Need no fucking lawyer. You got me fucked up. Need a lawyer? I am he. He is I. Come on now. Darrell Brooks. Yo, shit's kind of crazy out here, folks.
There is one additional thing from yesterday's hearing that I think I should add to the record.
Go ahead.
There was a lot of back and forth with Mr. Brooks, and it's been reported on in terms of his, and even the way he filled out that form where he crossed off the word understand. And I think on the form he wrote and informed that. And yesterday in the hearing, repeatedly clarified when asked if he understood things, said I'm aware of. In rereading Ferretta and Imani v. Pollard and the case law on this, it actually requires, that the case law requires, and maybe this is all just semantics, but the language in the case law requires that the defendant be made aware of the charges and the penalties and the risks and disadvantages of proceeding by representing himself. And so I just thought I should mention that to the court in terms of what the language of what the case law actually requires is.
Thank you. I would not disagree with your assessment of Ferretta and Imani. Of course, we have a form in Wisconsin that has been approved by the State Forms Committee of the Director of State Courts Office and Court Ops, and there is some specific verbiage that is on there, which in the vast majority of cases, I think, satisfies the parties. But I clearly understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree. But
Prosecution over there on the right, they're like, oh yeah, we're about to cook this guy. We can take our time, Laura. Yeah, Sue, we could take our super. I don't know. I just know it's Sue Opper and this other girl, this other woman. I forgot her name. But yeah, she's like, yeah, Sue, we could do this, and we could bring this witness up first because he won't know what the fuck is going on. Then we could bring this witness up second. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I hope you have fun with your children on Christmas, because you'll have time. You know what I mean? You'll have time. That shit is crazy. Yeah, they're getting ready to roast him, like cook him, real good.
thank you for bringing that to my attention. Mr. Brooks, I do have in front of me a waiver of right to attorney form that was electronically filed into the case today. I'm going to pull it up. You acknowledge, sir, that it is before you on the screen.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I could see it. Do you remember, this man hasn't really spoken yet, so everybody doesn't really know how he is yet, He just objected, and so far he's like, yeah, I could see it, Looking like a smug dickhead, but, pretty much so far just kind of doing his thing, obeying the rules to the best of his abilities. But wait, there's more. There's about 40 videos of mine more. Shit, I got to make a playlist. I need to make a Darrell Brooks playlist because I think a bunch of you guys have asked me that before. I need to go ahead and make it.
I don't want to make any assumptions, sir, about who filled out this form and how it got to me, so I'd like to ask a few questions about it. I, of course, gave you this form at the end of yesterday's hearing. Hold on a second. That's the live stream. It's the feedback we get because I'm displaying my computer. So give me a second. I'll do it a different way.
Come on, Judge. Come on, Judge Darrell. Mute that thing and let's go. Oh my God. She minimized everybody. Oh, here we go. Oh, damn. So this is the form that your boy Brooks did. I am 10 years old. I've completed 11 years of schooling. Wait, that doesn't even make any sense. What is that number?
I have his original copy that I could place in front of him.
It should also be on the share screen. Are you able to see it in front of you as well, or no?
Not at the moment.
I did a test with this yesterday to see if I shared my screen, how it would come up on the live stream, and I thought it was working, but it's all right. I'll stop the share screen. Mr. Brooks, if you want to confirm with me that your attorney has put in front of you the original.
Excuse me, say it again.
Sure. Could you please confirm that your attorney placed in front of you the original waiver of right to attorney form that you filled out?
Yes, right.
You acknowledge, sir, that I provided this form to you at the end of the hearing yesterday.
Yeah, gave me this.
I filled in certain information on this form regarding the caption at the top. That's the part that's typed. You acknowledge that?
Which part are you referring to?
So the very top of the form is a caption where it says State of Wisconsin versus Darrell E. Brooks, and there's typed written information. I'm telling you, I filled that out. You would agree with that?
I didn't see you fill it out.
Sir, when I gave you the form, was that portion of the form filled out with typed written information?
Yeah.
All right. There's a section further down that says crimes and penalties. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
When I gave you this form yesterday, was that section or both of those sections actually filled out with typed written information?
Yeah.
And that's the information that's on the form in front of you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
See, and obviously this is to make sure he can't come back and appeal and say he didn't understand something and he didn't get something and they didn't read him something, you know. But right now he's so reluctant to say yeah because he thinks they're locking him into something. They're locking him in, which they kind of are, but at the same time, this is just process, bro. You have to, like, there's certain things you just can't get away from. And Brooks is over here like, I understand that. Sir, did you see that it was filled out with my information? Yeah. Like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's really trying his hardest to dodge and maneuver out of certain legal things. It's not gonna work, bro. Like, at the end of the day, this has to be done. Any lawyer, any public defender, this would have been like, well, no, he's waiving his rights. But any legal process like that is gonna happen regardless, bro. You're gonna have to try to get innocent another way.
If you turn to the second page of that document, there's a signature box. It has a number of lines. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And there is one line where it says name printed or typed with the name Darrell E. Brooks typed in. Do you see that?
I see it, but that is not the way my name is. I
Sir,
don't acknowledge
do you
that.
acknowledge, just listen to me, sir. Do you acknowledge that when you received the form, that printed name was on it?
I recognize that there is a name printed on it. That is not.
Well, that's all she's asking. She's trying to make sure the information that from the court's end is correct and that he understands it. So he can't come back with no bullshit. He's over here. He don't know what these questions are. And the problem with him is he's no lawyer. So he doesn't understand like if these questions are going to hurt him later or if this is just standard procedure. Obviously, we have to make sure you're not stupid and you're just saying these things out of the randomness of your mouth, and then there's a whole mistrial because of it. So he's over here like, yeah, I understand that, but the name is wrong. It's Darrell M. Brooks. Okay, that wasn't my legal. See, he's trying so many things to like, you know what I mean? He's trying so many things to avoid these questions so that maybe later on the line he could call the lawyer, not the lawyer. He could call the court out on something and get a mistrial, which they made 1,000% sure would not happen.
Sir, the form that you have in front of you, which has a lot of other information on it, did you fill that out?
I filled it out a certain type of way.
Listen to me, sir. Did you provide the handwritten information on this form?
It's a yes or no question, bro. Handwritten information in general. He doesn't. Lacking a high school diploma really gets you there, huh? Shout out all my people who didn't graduate high school too, man. Shit. Because I know hella people who didn't graduate high school. And they're not stupid. And they're not this stupid at that. Like, holy shit, this guy is just dumb. He's just dumb. Simple.
Yes.
Oh my God. Wow. He answered.
I want to confirm the information that you filled out. My understanding, you are 40 years of age. Is that correct?
Yep.
Damn, I thought he was in his 30s. Damn, he don't look bad for 40. Not bad. I guess all the anger and the frustration kept him looking young.
It's also my understanding that you completed 11 years of schooling. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So he did go to high school. What, you go to the 12th grade? Like, he was in the 11th grade and dropped out? So he was just, man, again, he's just stupid. He basically finished high school and he's still dumb. Okay.
You have either a GED or an HSED. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cap. I call cap on that. This man, I call bullshit on that. Him, he has a GED. So why is he dumb? Oh my God. I don't understand it. Whoever passed Darrell Brooks on that GED, you're wrong. You're wrong for it. I know you felt sorry for him, but look at him now. Holy shit.
Which one?
The HSCD. I
Thank-
said that yesterday.
Right. I read in other materials that it was a GED. That's why I'm asking you.
I clarified it yesterday that it was the HSCD.
Thank you. It's also my understanding that you are able to read, write, and use the English language. Is that
Barely.
Yes.
English, as I understand it, is your first and only language. Is that true?
Yes.
Further, my understanding, sir, that you are not currently receiving treatment for a mental or emotional problem. Is that true?
Not currently.
Is that true?
Not currently.
Did you hear my question?
Yeah, I heard it.
Is it true that you are not currently receiving treatment for a mental or emotional
No.
problem?
No.
It's not true.
Say it again.
He's like, no. And she's like, it's not true. Say it again. Yo, his brain cells are they're like, imagine there's like a full room of brain cells just bouncing off the walls and a bunch of activity firing off in your brain. His brain is like 5 brain cells, just like boop, boop, boop. Like it's just hitting the walls every 5 to 3 to 5 seconds. You know, nothing's happening in his brain, bro. He can't even answer the question. He's so hell bent on finding a issue with the legal system that's been around for hundreds of years. He's so busy trying to do that he can't even answer the regular questions that don't make any difference, bro. You're going to trial by yourself. We need to make sure you're not incompetent. And I muted the damn video. I'm not even going to take this out. I hate YouTube for doing that. I be pressing buttons, I guess, and I just mute the video. How's that happen? Now it won't play.
It's not true.
Say it again.
Is it true that you are not currently receiving treatment for a mental or emotional problem?
Yeah, that's true.
You also have checked that in the past you have received treatment for mental or emotional problems. Is that true?
Yes.
Further my understanding, sir, that you have not had any alcohol, medications, or drugs within the last 24 hours. Is that true?
Yes.
Kind of has to be true. He's been in jail for the past 24 hours, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. I hope he's not. I hope nobody's stupid enough to give Darrell Brooks contraband. Ew. Why would you risk, like, you know what I mean? Why would you risk it for that type of person?
It's also my understanding, based upon how this form was filled out, that you do not have any physical or psychological disability that may affect your ability to be informed what is happening in court or communicate your position or views on the case to the court. Is that true?
Yes.
We talked a little bit about this yesterday. You graduated with an HSED, as we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
You've been able to read the various documents that have been provided to you in this case. Is that true?
Yeah.
You're able to write. Is that correct?
Barely answering. You know why? Because he could barely write. He could barely read. That's why he's real quiet. He's just like shaking his head. Yeah. Shaking his head. Shaking his head. Yeah. It's because he could barely read. He could barely write. He could barely comprehend. I don't know how he passed the HSED, let alone the GED. Like, I don't know how he passed any of that shit. Bro, it's really stupid. Like, everybody's saying he's so evil and he's so this, he's so that. Maybe bro is just dumb. And then he's evil dumb. So he does bad things, but he's still, dumb at the end of the day.
Let's go down to the next section, sir, where it says, I am informed that I have been charged with the following crimes that carry the following penalty. Do you see that section?
Yeah.
I want to advise you of the following. I want you to listen to me. You are charged with 6 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, use of a dangerous weapon. Each one of these counts is a Class A felony, punishable by life in prison, plus an additional 5 years for each count. Are you aware of that, sir?
I am informed. Yes.
How do you get 5 years after you die, bro? Like, does your spirit stay behind and do that fucking sentence? That is insane. That is crazy. You're dead and you're still serving time, bro. Damn.
You are also charged with 61 counts of first-degree recklessly endangering safety. Each one of these offenses is a Class F felony. Imprisonment of not more than 12 and a half years plus 5 years for the enhancer for use of a dangerous weapon for each count if convicted. And you are aware of that, sir.
Damn, bro. That is a lot. That's how he ended up with that time. That shit accumulated so stiffly. 65 charges for about 11, 12 some years. 65? That is, nah. That is some foul time right there. That type of time is insane. That's the time you just don't even want to think about. It's just like, oh wow, I'm really never gonna get out of this place. Like that's what at this very moment he realized he's going to prison and he needs to stall as much as possible for whatever decent cell he has or whatever he's got going in the jail cells compared to prison. Because when you get to prison, brother, it ain't gonna be pretty. It's gonna be a bad existence, bro. Tough existence.
I'm informed of that, yes.
There are also 6 counts of hit and run resulting in death. These are Class D felonies. Imprisonment of not more than 25 years for each count. And you are aware of that as well.
I am informed, yes. I was under the impression that it was a certain type of way in the wording.
Sir, you are also charged with 2 counts of felony bail jumping. These are Class H felonies.
Look at prosecution. I'm not even paying attention to prosecution. I bet you guys were, though. Opper's over here having a good old time laughing at this clown.
2 counts of felony bail jumping. These are Class H
Opper over there laughing her ass off. Shit.
felonies. And upon conviction, you may be in prison for not more than 6 years for each count. Are you aware of that?
I am informed.
And then there are 2 counts of misdemeanor battery. Those are Class A misdemeanors, and upon conviction, you may be in prison for not more than 9 months. Are you aware of that?
I am informed.
I am informed. I am aware. There ain't no difference, partner. It's no difference. That's what's gonna happen. I'm aware. I'm informed. You just want to be a pain in the ass. Go ahead, use a synonym. It's gonna be the same thing. You're informed. You're aware. It's all going downhill from here, Brooksy boy. But anyways, people, that was the start of this crazy situation where he wants to represent himself. And so far, so good, I'd say. Let me know if you guys want me to complete this little segment. This is before the trial. It gets interesting. It's a lot more to be, it's a lot more to be seen in this. So anyways, folks, until the next one, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you hit my Instagram about any new topics you guys have been interested in, any new cases. And until then, my people, stay inside, stay safe. I'll see you later.